for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. When it comes to pre-need, Miss Doris Thrash is our pre-need counselor at Curtis and Son Funeral Home. Now, she's been doing this a long time, and I've said this numerous times, and I've learned this in working at Curtis and Son as a funeral home director. Many people are unprepared for death. Now you say, well, Jimmy Dale, how can you be prepared for death? Well, I understand what you're thinking, but pre-need is the way to go. You don't have to worry at the death of a loved one. You've got everything in order. You've got the cemetery plot. You've got the type service that the person desired. You've got the clothing that you want them dressed in. You want the type service, where it's going to be. You've got all the insurance taken care of. And if you don't, and something happens quickly, and you're mourning, and you've got all this stuff to deal with too, it's not a good time. So talk with Miss Doris Thrash today about pre-need. More and more people are doing this. More and more families are doing it. 256-245-4361. Tell Miss Doris I asked you to come by from Daybreak. That's Doris Thrash, the pre-need counselor at Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. In obituary news this morning, funeral service for Mrs. Shirley Wyckoff Mitchell, age 72 of Kellydon, will be Friday, November 24th at 1 p.m. from Elam No. 2 Baptist Church in Kellydon. Burial in the church cemetery. Armour's Memorial Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Mrs. Elizabeth Walters Hopson, age 91 of Alexander City, is today at 2 p.m. from the chapel of Radney Funeral Home. Randy Anderson, along with Dr. Bruce McClendon, officiating. Burial in the Hillview Memorial Park. The family will receive friends this morning, 11:30 until 1:30 at the funeral home. Mrs. Hobson died Monday, November 20th at Chapman's Healthcare. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radneyfuneralhome.com. Memorials can be made to Camp Abska, P.O. Box 21, Jackson's Gap, Alabama, 36861. Radney Funeral Home, Alexander City, directing. Memorial service for Jack Edward Kemp, age 67 of Alexander City, will be Friday at 3 p.m. from the chapel of Radney Funeral Home. Reverend Albert Pike officiating. The family will receive friends 2 until 3 on Friday at the funeral home. Mr. Kemp died November 21st at Russell Medical Center. He was a Vietnam War Army veteran. He was a member of the River Road Baptist Church. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radneyfuneralhome.com. Radney Funeral Home directing. Mrs. Izola Stockdale, age 84, died Tuesday. Sims Funeral Service, Talladega, will announce the arrangements. Clara Eileen Hawthorne, age 92, died at her residence November 19th. Graveside service, 2 o'clock Friday at Pine Hill Memorial Park in Talladega. Kevin Jones will officiate. The family will receive friends at the funeral home from 12:30 until 1:30 prior to the graveside service. Online condolences at EarthstreetFuneralHome.com. Earthstreet Funeral Home, Talladega directing. Dorothy Michelle Haney, age 31, died Saturday, November the 18th. A vigil will be held tonight at 5 p.m. on Turner's Mill Road in Talladega. A visitation on Friday at Talladega Funeral Home from 6 until 8 o'clock. Funeral service on Saturday at 1 p.m. from the chapel of Talladega Funeral Home. The Reverend Earl Sanders and Pastor Philip Jenkins will officiate. Interment in the Oak Hill Cemetery. Ms. Haney attended the First Free Will Baptist Church. She's also a member of the PTA for Munford Elementary. In lieu of flowers, donations can be made toward her funeral expenses. Talladega Funeral Home directing. Celebration of life for Opal Horsley Parker, age 96, of Alexander City, is today at 11 a.m. from Flint Hill United Methodist Church. The family will receive friends from 9:30 until 11 o'clock at the church as well. In lieu of flowers, memorials can be made to the Flint Hill United Methodist Church Cemetery Fund or to the Flint Hill United Methodist Church Property Project Fund, all at 2858 Flint Hill Road, Alexander City, Alabama, 35010. Radney Funeral Home directing. Graveside service for Cindy Brasher Golden, age 45, of Sylacauga, will be Saturday at 2:30 from Tallahatchie Cemetery, with the Reverend Donald Grice officiating. Mrs. Golden died Saturday, November 18th at Brookwood Medical Center, Birmingham. Visitation prior to the graveside, noon until 2 o'clock on Saturday at Radney Smith Funeral Home. In lieu of flowers, the family suggests a donation be made to the funeral home in memory of Cindy Golden. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at radneysmith.com. Radney Smith Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Mrs. Sabrina Ware, age 44, is Friday at Free Will Worship Center in Goodwater at 11 o'clock, with the Reverend Arthur Welch officiating. Burial in the Bethel Memorial Gardens in Ashland. Visitation will be today from 2 until 8 at Grace Memorial Chapel in Sylacauga. Cathy Melia Crump McRae, age 61, of Talladega, died November 19th. Funeral service today at 1 o'clock from Ursery Funeral Home Chapel, with burial in the Pine Hill Memorial Park. Reverend Jeff Huey will officiate the service. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. Ursery Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Eleanor Malone Atkins, age 94, is 11 o'clock this morning at Pine Hill Memorial Park Mausoleum Chapel in Talladega. Entombment in the Pine Hill Memorial Park. The family receiving friends 10 until 11 o'clock at the mausoleum today. That's a look at obituaries this morning, brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361 for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1945. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.